So we're the first native oyster and seagrass restoration project in the UK, and we're empowering local people to actually take an active role in looking after their coastal waters. So everything here looks very much picture perfect, but when you go down below the surface, you quickly realise that it's actually really quite a degraded habitat here. And this has been caused by various factors, mostly human driven, things like pollution and poor fisheries management. And so we decided that we really wanted to do something about that in our waters here as a community. And so we set up the Seawilding charity, and our main focus is on restoring marine habitats through reintroducing keystone species like seagrass and native oysters. And these create these really important habitats in which life can thrive, and they help to protect coastal environments. They help to fight in the fight against climate change as well, and they also support a number of species that are important to commercial fisheries too. We're empowering local people to actually take an active role in looking after their coastal waters. And the way that we operate is we develop these best practice simple methods that we can then roll out to people within our community here and beyond. And by putting the restoration activities into the hands of local people, we're giving it to people who are most connected to their local coastal waters. And this will enable us to build a long-term stewardship for the future of our seas.
Community-led initiatives are really important because I think if the community has a say in what goes on in their loch, it gives people that sense of environmental stewardship, I think, to then want to do something about it, and people are more likely to follow things through or get involved and give things real legacy if they have been involved from the start and had a say in what goes on in the waters around their home.
It's incredible just getting involved. It is totally inclusive in terms of the community. Everybody is welcome, everybody gets involved, right from the youngest right up to the oldest.
There's a very strong community spirit, and yeah, everyone looks out for one another and for the environment as well.
Seawilding really were my first choice to approach to do a garden at Chelsea. It combines my love of the ocean and restoration as well. So this area, specifically just outside Seawilding's operations, was a big inspiration for me for the garden. I just love the way the rocks come out of the landscape here in all these different layers that just create these little pockets of planting where plants like this sea thrift here right on the coastline just takes hold. And then if we go back into like the landscape, you get the deeper areas of soil where there's, you can't see at the moment, but there's yellow flag iris up here, and there's so many different wildflowers here. And then we go back into the trees, so we get that lovely coastal pioneer plantings and succession planting as we go further and further. And that was a real big inspiration for me for this garden.
When we were approached by Ryan to have a garden at Chelsea, we were super excited because it obviously gives us an opportunity to spread our message about the biodiversity loss and what we're doing to try and reverse that. And that was really his message as well, because being a keen wild water swimmer and all the rest, he's seen what's happening out there, and he was keen to create this garden which reflects that everything is sort of okay on the surface, but actually if you look a bit closer and look underneath, things are actually going quite wrong.
So one of the key aspects of this garden is seagrass. We're bringing seagrass for the first time in the history of Chelsea to the show. This is our only flowering plant in the ocean, and I didn't know we had it in our oceans. And if I didn't know we had it in our oceans, that's something to bring to Chelsea, to show people that we have this amazing plant. To me, it was quite important to spread that message of what we have here and why it's so special and why we should preserve it. After the show, we're going to bring the garden back up here to Loch Craigness. The garden is going to be relocated at the primary school in the town just behind me at Ardfern. So we've got this lovely legacy, not only for seawilding, but for the next generation, the seawildlings. So it's a lovely foraging garden that they can explore safely and learn about the landscape.